We are learning tonight that the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops will soon decide whether President Joe Biden should be allowed to take part in the Holy Eucharist based on his public support for abortion. It comes as the president prepares to address Congress, pushing his American Families Plan. White House correspondent Owen Jensen starts off our team coverage tonight. Owen?
Tracy, good evening. You've heard the White House describe the president as a devout Catholic. We know he goes to church often, prays the rosary, but it's his stance on abortion that has bishops on the cusp of making a very big decision.
President Joe Biden recently attending Mass at St. Joseph on the Brandywine in Delaware. But his support for Planned Parenthood, revoking the Mexico City policy, and flipping on the Hyde Amendment, among other things, contradict church teaching on protecting human life.
We are all sons and daughters of God.
And come this June, Catholic bishops will decide on whether to develop a document that would demand President Biden and other pro-abortion politicians not receive communion, a public rebuke. Archbishop Joseph Naumann of Kansas City, who chairs the USCCB's Committee on Pro-Life Activities, says such a stance by a public figure is a grave moral evil. According to church law, people in persistent sin should not receive communion. During the presidential campaign, a priest in South Carolina denied communion to then-candidate Joe Biden, but critics say denying communion is tantamount to a weaponization of the Eucharist. Meanwhile, tonight, the president lays out before Congress that sweeping proposal with a staggering $1.8 trillion price tag. It includes 2 years of free community college, $225 billion for child care, and monthly payments of at least $250 to parents, and hitting the wealthy with higher taxes.
We're really talking about the very wealthiest in this country paying their fair share in order to make investments in things like universal pre-K and paid family leave.
Grover Norquist from Americans for Tax Reform blasts the tax hikes, writing, Biden wants to take the U.S. business tax higher than China's and Europe and hike the capital gains tax higher than Jimmy Carter.
Now back to that USCCB document for a moment. Even if it's agreed the president should not present himself for communion, it would be up to individual bishops where the president worships and whether he is welcome to receive Holy Communion. At the White House, Owen Jensen, EWTN News Nightly.